We were joking a little before the show when I asked you, have you ever come out of a game when you were tired, the way Anthony Richardson claimed to do? He tapped his head. I think everyone thought, oh no, the hip again. No, he was just tired. Comes out for a play on a 3rd and long, and yeah, it was a 3rd and 23, but it was in scoring range, a crucial play to a game, and you are the quarterback of the game. So I know you've never come out of a game because you were tired, Matt, but have you ever heard of anything quite like this at the cornerback position, especially at the NFL level?
No. And I mean, it's the simple answer, right? It's, I've played 15 years in the NFL. I've watched a game my entire life. I've never seen it at the college level. I've never seen it at a high school level, really at any level of anything I've ever been a part of or played against or seen. And so it was strange to see yesterday. I thought comments afterwards, there's a responsibility that comes with playing this position in this league. And, you need to take it seriously, right? You're one of 32 guys, 32 players on the planet that are starting quarterback in the NFL. They're paying you a lot of money. There's a lot of expectations for you, and you set the tempo for your team, whether you like it or not, right? I think Kyle can talk to that. Whether you're a guy who's a leader who speaks a lot or just does it by action, it makes no difference. Everybody every day is looking at you and how you carry yourself and how you bring guys along. And I think there's a level of seriousness and professionalism that needs to come with it that has not been there to this point in his career. And he's got some growing up to do. And hopefully he can do that and be better for it. But his play has got to improve too. I mean, there's no question about it. His play has not been good enough. And then you add that on top of it. That's got to be frustrating in that locker room.
And you know what? I would be the first one to say, hey, dude, you're a young quarterback. You don't have much experience. We will give you the benefit of the doubt on some of these sailed throws, some of these inaccurate throws, because that's just the nature of the position of quarterback. You know it better than anybody. It's really hard, although you made it look easy for so long in the NFL. But for Anthony Richardson, his lack of experience as a teammate, I want to be like, dude, you keep working, you keep getting better. One thing that's inexcusable, which is kind of grandfathered into his skill set, is the fact that he's a physical specimen. He's supposed to be the best athlete on the field. When I take a look around the NFL and I look at these quarterbacks that run a lot, like Caleb Williams last night against the Commanders, there was a point in the game where he had 40 yards rushing, 25 yards passing, and he probably ran for 200 yards to get to 40 yards rushing. That's behind the line of scrimmage, weaving in and out of the piles, avoiding tacklers down the field. Those guys don't leave the field. Lamar Jackson runs just as much, if not more, than Anthony Richardson. So, Anthony, I beg of you, use your strengths to your advantage. Do not come out of the game, because people start looking at you sideways, not only about your accuracy, but now it's your commitment. Now it's your commitment to being the leader. And you talked about it. Everybody in the locker room looks up to the quarterback for good or worse, for better or worse. And I have to say, it left a weird taste in my mouth watching that from Anthony Richardson. And you know how I feel about Joe Flacco in this locker room. I think he should be the guy. I think this is the nail in the coffin this year for a guy like Anthony Richardson. You're a game back on the Houston Texans in the division, and you can't get it done. And you pull yourself out of the game. It's inexcusable.
Yeah.
Well, you said it. I mean, you're in a game that you're playing for first place, right? You're playing for the top of the division in the AFC South. And I think back to, you can just think of all of the quarterbacks in those long 2-minute drives, right, that you've played with. And I remember doing this all the time. You're looking at your O-line that is gassed, right? Gassed. And you're just trying to tell them, like, dude, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going, just hang on just a little bit longer.
Three-check, get on the ball, on the ball, on the ball.
Yes, exactly, right? And so that's the responsibility that comes with it. But let's talk about his play a little bit. Okay, so we saw kind of the stats of the completion percentage in the first half. I put down some notes. So he had 10 completions, 4 of which were either screens or keepers outside of the pocket. All right, so the long touchdown pass, they go with the keeper action. It's a throwback. It's wide open. There's 2 screens, 2 keepers. They hit another down flat. So that's 4 completions of those 10 that are outside the pocket. There's 6 completions now of those 10 that are inside the pocket. Of those 6 completions, 2 are checkdowns to the backs, and 2 are slants or a slant return. So there's not many balls going down the field. There's just really nothing that is completed in the drop back passing game that's happening right now for the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, it's hard, right? It's hard. And I know his comments were, I'm different than other quarterbacks. I'm like the best runner other than Lamar. But at some point you've got to deliver and you've got to play quarterback too. You've got to make these passes in the passing game, and you would hope that you've seen more development than you've seen up until this point. But really, it looks the same to me every week.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you can't make the throws, at the very least be in shape so that you can show that you're the second best runner in the league. I don't know if you watched Jaden Daniels scampering for first downs with a torn up rib cage last night, but he looked like a pretty damn good runner. He didn't come out of the game.
Yeah, I think subbing yourself out of the game is more of a symptom than the disease. The disease is just he hasn't done enough, hasn't worked hard enough to get better, because the same things we saw week 1 of his rookie year. He's the same guy from then. The inaccuracies, the footwork has not improved 1 iota over that span, even if he had the full off season to improve it. We haven't seen it get done. So with Anthony Richardson, I'm with you. I think at this point, especially with his comments and doing that, I would at some point, the next few games are going to be difficult, but I would probably call him the sub. Because sitting him down
Tap that right arm.
Sitting him down can develop him just as much as playing him right now, because a lot of it is between the ears with him. All right, on to
between the ears. But Mike, last thing you said it about the work. Watch him at the top of drops. At the top of his drop, typically you're going to see guys that are either climbing up and they're on balance, or they're staying stationary in that spot and they're on balance. He is rarely, if ever, on balance at the top of his drops. Right. And so it starts there. It starts from the ground up. It starts with getting the little things right. And that, to me, is the thing that is concerning. How is this not getting better, week after week after week after week?